Hey everyone, welcome to RevTrev NFL. My name is RevTrev. It's great to have you here. We're doing a live draft. I want to introduce you my friend Peter Day, and we're switching faces here so it's easier to see. How are you doing, Peter?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Draft season. Here we go.
Yeah, so let's just talk a little bit about the draft strategy, why we're doing a live draft instead of a mock draft, and then we're going to get into some positional plays. We tried to get into the same league at the same time. It did not work. So the idea that we were going to be in the same league drafting live was a really good idea.
That's a great idea. That's fantastic.
I've got an idea for the next time we do this. So, Peter, tell them why we're going into live draft and not just doing a mock draft.
Well, first of all, the biggest reason is that for most guys, if you do a mock draft, we'll do like first 2 rounds and everybody puts it on auto and we don't get anything out of it. So you don't actually get to practice or do anything. So it doesn't do you any benefit whatsoever. And when you're playing with guys that are playing in leagues, for whatever reason, they stick around. Usually these guys are going to stick around till 10, 12 at least in those rounds. And then we get to actually play in a league. It's true. And it's fun, man. Come on.
Yeah. And so that's the fun thing is that we always join these public leagues. And the weird thing is that we actually manage them all year. Which is, I mean, we should. I mean, you don't want to just be that in a league. Yeah. But I do like that. Like, if you do a mock draft, people leave after round 6.
Yeah,
it's just what happens for most people. Where you and I are diehards, we're trying. Round 6 is up to round 6 is the easiest part.
Yeah.
After that is where you win and lose leagues. So we really want to practice that. So today is July 18th, 2024. And we're drafting early because we want to try different strategies. Now, Pete.
Yeah.
We talk all the time about different strategies. There's all kinds of, now the newest one is 0 RB. And I feel like it's the widely accepted one now.
Right.
And I just don't understand the logic. I do not subscribe to that. I don't know anyone that's won a league by doing a 0 RB. Now, it depends, of course. 2 quarterbacks, if you have like 3 flexes or 3 wide receiver spots, like obviously there's some ways we switch there, right?
Yeah.
But overall for us, we talk about strategy for redrafts, a little bit more for dynasty. Every year they talk about weight on quarterback, right?
Yeah.
This year is the year where I feel like we really need to do that. Yeah, and so how are you feeling about that strategy?
Well, I think that what you're talking about, the whole 0 running back thing, if you're playing in a league that's 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex, you can't go 0 running back. That doesn't make any sense. And you got to collect points for them. So if you wait on the running back, instead of getting 220 to 250 for the upper end running backs, you're going to get 170 for the guys you're going to get in round 8, 9, 10, whatever the case. So it doesn't really make any sense. For quarterbacks, there's so many quarterbacks back there. Mahomes is always really high, and his fantasy to me is he's solid. He's a solid player, but you can we were talking about that earlier. You can get a lot of 14 and 16 point weeks from Mahomes, and there's better options out there, especially later too, because like these ESPN and Yahoo have guys like Aaron Rodgers ranked like 120th, 130th, 135th and stuff like that. It's like you could wait and still get a very viable quarterback. Dak Prescott, who was close to being an MVP last year, you're going to be able to get him at 70 or 80. So it's like
there's Purdy, there's Stroud, there's Love.
There's all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of stuff there. So it's easy to start.
Okay, but so I agree with you. Okay. But here's the weird thing about it. And by the way, there's 2 minutes left, and like he's going into a draft. Mine's 2 minutes left. He'll be going into his draft. What? Yeah. Where do you start? You're drafting number 1. I'm
picking 1, so I'm going to have a nice break. So I figured that I'm going to go in and take Mahomes 1 overall, and away we go, bro.
Right. Okay. So maybe we should clarify. We're in a 1 quarterback, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 tight end, 1 flex league. This is what the Yahoo default is. Yes. I don't think there's PPR. Is it PPR, Pete?
It is PPR, yeah.
Okay, so probably 0.5.
Yep.
Okay, so you've got the number 1 pick. I've got number 3 in my league.
Yep.
I'll post mine on the screen when it comes up, but I wanted to talk to you because you're like, are you picking McCaffrey first?
Yeah, I'll take McCaffrey first here.
I would if I had number one.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, so-
think about what I'm going to do.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's a pretty straightforward pick. It's not.
I know, but number three, like if McCaffrey's there, I'll pick him. But if not, is it CeeDee Lamb? Is it Tyreek Hill? Is it like, you know what I mean?
Well, if you're talking about CeeDee Lamb, the only time that CeeDee Lamb is there, in my opinion, like don't get me wrong, he's always involved in their offense. But if it's not a PPR league, to me, CeeDee Lamb can't be at 2. It's his volume that you're going with CeeDee Lamb. He'll get 8 touchdowns as well, but he's not going to be that stud, touchdown scoring guy. But he's going to catch 120 to 140 balls, and you're going to get 60, 70 points out of that.
Yeah. So him and Tyreek were basically their projections. Okay, their projections are similar.
They're really like they're going to be, to me, if they both escape injury this year. CeeDee Lamb hasn't, he hasn't had an injury-prone season, and he gives me a little bit of the EBGBs that he might be that guy.
Who would you rather have, Tyreek Hill, Jefferson?
I like Tyreek there just generally because you don't get a chance to get Tyreek unless you want to take running back there, and then Breece Hall is that guy.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens here. But I wanted to talk about quarterback, but I mean, this is more important right now. I don't know. I kind of want to take a CeeDee Lamb. I think some of us take CeeDee Lamb anyways.
Do it.
But I might just have to take Tyreek. Oh, the guy took Tyreek. So it's CeeDee Lamb.
There's your answer.
Breece Hall. I don't like the running backs as much there. You know what? I'll just do CeeDee Lamb. And because I did that, I'm going to do that. And then, okay, so now you've already picked McCaffrey, right?
Yep, I have McCaffrey, and we're moving on.
So let's just quickly talk about Josh Allen for a second.
Okay.
So what I don't understand is he's the clear-cut number 1 quarterback in everyone's rankings, or almost everyone's rankings. By the way, I hate consensus rankings. I think they're stupid because how are they all the same? Yeah. But how is Josh Allen, with the lack of wide receivers, the clear-cut number 1? I don't understand this theory. Like, are we expecting Coleman or what's that, Shakir or whatever his name is? Yeah. Are we expecting them to have like 1,500 yards?
No, but neither did Diggs. Neither did Diggs. But Josh Allen's value to me when you're talking about fantasy is his rushing and his touchdowns. So inside the 5-yard line, Josh Allen is as likely to run as any of the running backs. So to me, that's where the value sits. And it's the same thing with Jalen Hurts, right? Jalen Hurts isn't necessarily, it's not that thing where he's going to be throwing for, 40 touchdowns in a season, but it wouldn't be strange to see Jalen Hurts score 9 or 10 rushing touchdowns. So if you, I think I was looking at their attempts, and I think that Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson both had around 100 rushing attempts last year. 100. That's a ton, dude. You're talking 10 points a point per 10 yards. And when they score, that's where they're scoring their stuff. Because Lamar is not a 40 touchdown guy either. Lamar is going to throw for 26 touchdowns and he's going to rush for 8 more. Yeah. So that's the value that's there. Where Josh Allen's concerned, I think he's got value. I just don't think he's that high. And I think that you get better value later in the draft and you never have to worry about it. That's how but in saying that, you're not losing taking Josh Allen. If you got Josh Allen on your team, it's not like you're going to suck. So he's going to score points.
Yeah. Okay. So, but I still don't get why he's number 1, even though he gets those, I would rather have Jalen Hurts over him because he's got better weapons. That's just where I'm sitting. But I rarely, I was kind of hoping that I would be in the back of the draft. I wanted to try a new strategy, get AJ Brown, and then go get Jalen Hurts and maybe the 3rd round.
So I'm kind of I'm kind of approaching here.
Okay.
I'm getting up into, I got about 7 picks before my next pick. Of course, after the 1 pick, I'm picking at 20 and 21.
Yeah.
And so this pick actually gets very interesting because there's always some level of receivers around here, but there's also running backs hanging here that you might get as well. And when I'm going back to back, it's hard to like if Derrick Henry's there or something like that, even though I've gone with Christian McCaffrey, it's tough not to take him.
Yeah.
Kyron Williams also gets tons of volume in Los Angeles. So it's really hard. And taking somebody like that's ranked in that area, like Marvin Harrison, I don't really see it. I think he's going to be a really good player, but I'm always really leery about those early dudes there. So I'm going to go with a little bit of a different draft strategy here too, dude. This is going to be a little crazy for me right now. Okay. So what I've done is I've taken McCaffrey, and I believe that McCaffrey is indefinitely. I think that if he's not the number 1 back this year, that he is absolutely top 3 for sure. But again, as we've seen so many years at the beginning of fantasy, the consensus number 1 pick very rarely ends up being the consensus number 1 pick. So I'm going kind of crazy with strategy here. This is not a usual strategy for me. So I've got 1 pick before my pick. And my question for you is it Sam Laporta or Travis Kelce as the number 1 tight end?
I like them both, but I'm going Laporta
In general?
And the reason why is I think Goff's going to do very similar stuff, and I think he's just going to fit in that spot.
Yeah.
But if you decide to go Kelce, I mean, how do you go against Kelce? He's just a little bit older, and there's going to be a drop off. I just don't know when it's going to be.
Yeah, it's interesting because we thought that maybe that would happen last season, and it wasn't phenomenal. But as
he got hurt, and then he still came second.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I'm on the clock here.
I am too, actually. And I've got options there. So I think that the best. My other question is I have Drake London available at wide receiver and Mike Evans available at wide receiver there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go. I have back-to-back here at 20 and 21. So I'm going to go with you. We're going to go Laporta. So what I'm going to do is say that I've got the best running back in the game and arguably the best tight end in fantasy.
Yeah, he had 10 touchdowns last year, by the way, too.
Yeah, which is not unforeseen.
I can do Laporta as well here.
Okay. And then I think I'm going to take, which is not a usual pick for me. I'm a little bit leery about taking Ayuk. Just with all the trade and stuff. So I think I'm going with Mike Evans here. Devontae Adams is there, and I'd love to take a guy like Devontae Adams, and I can't do it because of the quarterback situation.
I hear you. So you're taking Laporta and who?
And Mike Evans there.
Okay. So I am going to make it so on the bottom of this, they see your team.
Okay.
Because they see my team here.
Yeah.
No problem.
Extremely strange. What in the world happened? Oh, dude, I totally screwed up. Okay. Well, my draft strategy didn't work.
Why?
Because Sam Laporta must have ticked up 1 spot, so I ended up getting Kyron Williams. I have 2 running backs and Mike Evans. Dagnabbit.
Well, that's still fine.
I know. It's just like, I was trying to go a different way. So I was trying to get like a top running back, a kind of top 7 wide receiver, and arguably the best tight end, just to sort of change it up a little bit. But it is.
Okay, so I'm going to be drafting real soon here. I'm with you. I don't like the Devontae Adams, Ayuk, London and stuff Evans probably is the safest pick out of those, in my opinion.
He is, and I'm always cheap from picking him. And then you look at his stuff, and he ends up with 10 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
and he's involved in everything, and he's always over 1,000 yards. But the one thing I do think, the whole Drake London thing with Kirk Cousins, I think he could actually be something feasible there.
See, so the guy at what your spot picked McCaffrey, Kyron Williams, and Travis Etienne. That's how he started his draft, which is stacked.
Wow.
So I need a running back here.
Yeah.
Achane, Jacobs, Rashad White, James Cook.
Cook doesn't. I think that with where Jacobs is concerned, you and I looked up a funny stat about him though. Where Jacobs is concerned, I think he's going to be the workhorse in Green Bay.
Yeah.
But we were saying the other day, Jacobs has never caught a receiving touchdown in his career.
Yeah.
Which is
just fine.
But for PPR, that's not ideal. So you had a great season with Rashad White last year too, dude.
I know.
But see, by not taking,
I'm gonna go Josh Jacobs because I'm a Packers.
There you go.
Why not? Just for fun, anyways.
Hey, we're having some fun with this draft. This isn't ideal. I took Williams, and I really didn't mean to. I literally.
You still were saying how much you liked him, so
I really like him. I do. It's just
to change this then because you screwed it up. Thanks a lot for wrecking it.
You know what, man? I like to do my job well, and when I do it, I screw it up big.
I hear you.
You never accused me of anything less.
Okay, so keeping your team down here. So
yeah.
CMC, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, so I'm in a different spot than you are. I've taken the best, potentially one of the best wide receivers.
Yep.
The best tight end, and not the best running back. But in my opinion, he's probably top 10, maybe top 12, potentially.
Yep.
The A-Chain one is really hard not to take. He just has that big play capability.
He really does, and I really like him there. The only caveat to taking him is then you really feel like later in the draft you have to
go running back.
You have to go. No, you have to take what's his name in Miami.
Mostert.
Yeah, I think that you kind of have to with what's happened just in the short history. Both of them, you need to sort of take you got to sort of. Yeah, I think you have to handcuff.
Yeah, and then
I like him.
Go ahead.
But I like him. Like that offense is not going to struggle.
Yeah. So in my league, Travis Kelce went round 3, pick 5. And Josh Allen went round 3, pick 7.
Yeah, and in my league, Kelce went 3 and 4, and Josh Allen went 3 and 8. So 8th pick, 3rd round. And quickly too, like the guy meant it. Like, wow.
Yeah. How many people? Only one person's not here. So that's not bad.
So this is where the interesting thing comes in though, where I'm picking is now you kind of come into that sort of no man's land of tight ends as well. So now you're deciding whether to wait or not.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be challenging for sure. So
see, my next 2 picks, like this is where I could switch strategy. Like maybe I get the Jalen Hurts and then I flip around and get the Devontae Smith and have a little bit of that stack.
Yeah.
Or depends, like, because I don't think Debo Smith or Mike Evans is going to be there for me.
Right.
I just feel like people are so dumb. They just go by consensus all the time.
Yeah, and it's funny because if you were sort of overlapping the 2 rankings from ESPN to Yahoo, they're very different, and so it's not that simple. It's not as simple a choice, really. Something I really in previous years I've really liked DJ Moore, but there's a lot of balls to go around in Chicago, and a guy like Keenan Allen, and I'm very familiar with Keenan Allen. He is a guy that they're going to use for a lot of catches. He is not a touchdown machine. He catches his own, but it's like he he's going to take a lot of those balls. He's going to get at least 110, 120 catches this year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard with DJ Moore up that high.
So in this league, we talked about the one guy who went CMC, Kyron Williams, Travis Etienne.
Yes.
Another guy went 4. Do you see the 4?
I'm on right now, Trev.
Okay, I'll let me go ahead.
No. So right here, where I'm going with it is I want to make sure that I get one of these better receivers in here.
Yeah.
So my choice really for me is somewhere. So I've got Pittman, DJ Moore, DK Metcalf, and Cooper Kupp, and I really like Cooper Kupp. But DK Metcalf is not a bad choice here either. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I like both those guys.
Yeah.
I'm a Kupp guy because it's like potential he could just be way better.
Yes.
Like
I did just take Kupp there.
Okay. Kupp went way earlier for me.
Okay, so I just got Kupp in the 4th round. The last pick of the 4th round. So that was super solid. So now I've got the choice of going into potentially a quarterback or getting into that next group of tight ends. And that's the question is that Mark Andrews is still on the board.
Yeah.
And makes that very, very tempting. And too tempting for me. I am weak in the stomach. It was a very easy Mark Andrews pick there, even though that's kind of higher than his X rank. Sometimes what I like to do is to switch over from the X rank into average draft position. So if you switch that number, their rankings change a lot because guys get into the position like I'm in, where if I don't take Andrews, I don't pick again for 19 picks. So it's like you're taking him earlier than you would, but you're taking him because you want that kind of tight end.
Yeah. And you know what's weird is in my league, someone literally picked Mark Andrews where you did.
Is that right, eh? Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got him at 41.
So I had a choice between Rashad White, who was considering at the Josh Jacobs spot, or Nico Collins.
Yeah. How much value does Nico Collins lose with Diggs? Are you on the clock right now, bro? Uh-oh. Are we frozen, bud?
Can you hear me?
Hey.
Okay, so I got to pick here. That my internet connection died.
Hey, we're good.
DJ Moore. I'm gonna go DJ Moore. Draft. Oof, that was close.
Okay, so just to update my team, buddy. Number 4 was Cooper Kupp.
Just wait 1 second.
Oh, yeah.
Second. Okay, I'm bringing it up right now, and it is. Okay, Cooper. Did it shut down on your end, like everything?
No,
or just me.
I was just talking to myself.
Okay, so Cooper Kupp,
and then I took Mark Andrews in the 5th.
Okay. Okay,
and only in response really to the fact that I was planning on taking Laporta in that other round and screwed that up. So
yeah. Okay, so now I have to bring this back up. Present, share screen. That was really weird. It did not like all that stuff that was going on.
I was having a good conversation though, man. So I mean, I'm good TV all by myself. It's like, Trev, what's up? Trev, yo.
I've had that happen to me one other time.
You're staring at me like, and then you're not moving at all, like nothing. You didn't blink.
Right?
I was like,
That's so weird and so awkward when we do that.
You're super focused right now on like Cooper Kupp.
Which I couldn't take at that age, and you know me, I love me some Cooper Kupp, right?
I know you do.
And if you're here watching the chat, there's a number of people here watching this right now. If you want to suggest who we should take, go for it. We'll definitely talk about whoever you want to talk about.
Yeah, I'm really open to it too, because it's kind of a switcheroo for me here. Like, it's not necessarily exactly how we would do a typical draft. I'm kind of trying a little bit of different strategy. So love to hear anything for sure.
Yeah. So Peter, I was talking to you about the guy who had the 3 running backs, right? So he went Mark Andrews, then he went Amari Cooper. So that's his first wide receiver is Amari Cooper. That's wild to me.
That's rough.
The other guy on the other end went Amon St. Brown, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs. So 4 wide receivers, and then his next 2 picks are David Montgomery and Mostert.
Wow.
And it's like, wow. I mean, because Kenneth Walker went right before him. So all the other running backs that he probably would have taken went there. And he kind of got, in my opinion, got hosed there.
Yeah.
Because he's taking 2 backups. He's not taking starters. Like, it's Gibbs and A-Chain that you want to, right?
Yep. Yeah. Well, they do. Mostert's going to get lots of carries, but he's not the one back.
Mm-hmm.
Just missing out on Kenneth Walker there. Kenneth Walker, he also gets a ton of volume, so it's nice to have him if worst case scenario there. It's coming around to me right now. In fact, Kenneth Walker's available in my league still.
Yeah, that would be promising.
Which is nice there actually. I would if he was still there.
Man, Devontae Smith is still available right now, and I'm 2 picks away.
I know. I was thinking of taking quarterback here somewhere, and now it's like I've got Kenneth Walker and I have Devontae Smith available too.
Come on, dude. Yes. Who did he draft? Ramondre Stevenson. Okay, I gotta take. I cannot believe that he's here. What did he do last year? He had 187 fantasy points, 81 receptions, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. That's pretty good.
That's super solid in that position, right? So what are you picking?
Like
I'm gonna get one of those guys at 60.
A lot of people like the Zay Flowers, but he doesn't get enough. Yeah, I'm going Devontae Smith.
Oh, they took him.
Man, I can't believe it.
Yeah, Kenneth Walker for me, that's way too good to give up there. I got Kenneth Walker at 60. I love him there.
Okay.
And then the other piece of it there is unfortunately, like, Aaron Jones is still available there, but that's another running back. But Aaron Jones is still there. And people, they pass by James Conner for a long time. And I think that he's pretty incredible in that position. So right now, because I feel like I can get the quarterback, because I feel like I've dealt with my tight end, I can't give up on Aaron Jones at this point. I wouldn't usually take a running back, but man, it's really tough to not take him in this spot. So I'm going to take Aaron Jones. So I actually just went through there and picked my flex player and my first bench player as running backs, strangely enough. Like,
wow.
So I've got 4 running backs on my roster already.
So I'm in round 7. So are you?
Yes, I am.
And let me just update yours.
Yeah.
While I'm waiting.
So
you did
round 6. Last pick of round 6 was Kenneth Walker, and then the first pick of round 6. Come on, man. I don't like, even if Aaron Jones. Come on, man.
Did you pick Aaron Jones too?
I did. I couldn't, man. I couldn't not do it because I've got good running back or wide receivers coming up here that I don't fear losing any value there.
Okay. So that's good. We'll just bring it up so people can see your team.
Like this.
We got some comments, Pete.
This is not usual.
Okay. So Pete, I'm up on the clock.
Yeah.
Everyone except for the guy that his first pick has a quarterback. Him and I both don't have quarterbacks.
Yeah,
I was thinking about taking a quarterback here, but I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, because no one's taken their backup right after.
So Connor's still there.
Yeah.
The wide receivers are T. Higgins, Flowers, McLaurin,
Dude,
Pickens.
T. Higgins is amazing value to me in round 7. I think he's like, if you're looking for another receiver, I love that value.
Yeah, I like him just a bit more than Flowers.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to do that. T. Higgins. Man, I'm loving this squad.
Dude, you know who's sneaking down to me, and I don't know that he's going to be there because I still have like 7 picks before me? Chris Godwin. I might get Chris Godwin in the 9th.
Wow. Okay, so Joey's here, and he said Tank Dell is Stroud's top target. Yes, you're right. I did consider him for sure, Joey. I do appreciate that. I might actually have him in a bunch of dynasty leagues. I just have this feeling when it comes to Tank Dell, like, is he better than T. Higgins? Is he better than who's the other guy I picked? Devontae Smith. I kind of like those guys just a little bit more than I do like because they have the larger stature. I don't. What do you think, Pete?
I do like Dell. The only thing with Tank is he is his number 1 guy. I don't doubt that. I think that he is going to catch balls and stuff. I think that it's just going to be shared more. So I don't think the volume with it in a PPR is worth it as much. Like he's not going to get 100 catches where it's going to be split, and he may be the number 1 guy, but it might be like 85, 78, and 71. So it's just where you put that value. I'm not sure how much of it. Diggs might be a decoy out there for all we know, kind of thing. You think about how they ran. Their offense is very tough to handle.
Yeah. And then he commented, you have a lot of good picks so far. If Hawkinson is available, I'd still grab him, and Love for sure for quarterback. I agree, except for I already have Laporta, so I don't feel the need to go get Hawkinson at this stage. Just also don't really know about his quarterback situation and his health, but I do like Hawkinson as a sleeper. Like, he was on fire last year.
Yeah.
I just don't know about that. But I like right now coming back to me, it's going to be like Dak Prescott or Jordan Love, or you know what I mean? Like,
I've got right now, I've got Jordan Love just about landing in my pocket. There's only one guy that's going to pick ahead of me. And then because I go back to back, I could have Chris Godwin as well, or George Pickens.
Wow.
They're both available. So one of them is going to go somewhere here, but I'm going to get 2 of those 3 players.
Right.
So I'm actually quite happy about that. I'm pretty content with what that looks like if that shows up like that. So he ended up taking Singletary there, and the guy before him took Cleveland's defense.
Wow.
So in this round here, Trev, I have got to take. Wow, I really like Pickens there. I'm taking Pickens, and I'm going to get Jordan Love as well. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. So Pickens in the 8th, Jordan Love in the 9th. And I will look to handcuff Jordan Love with the likes of Herbert or Aaron Rodgers, Jared Goff. Can you imagine, dude? Can you imagine after the fantasy season that Goff had last year? Don't tell me he's going to have Jameson all year this year.
Right.
You think he's not going to have at least the year he had last year? Come on now. That guy's got weapons and an offensive line. You want to talk value in your draft for quarterback? For the quote unquote no names out there, Jared Goff that's a nice late pick to get.
Mm-hmm.
So are you updated on me there?
No, just give me a second. I'm just
That's great.
posting this in my Twitter. Okay, now it's my turn.
Yeah.
So go to players. Running backs have Zach Moss, Jalen Warren, blah, 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 Robinson. Terry McLaurin is still available. Christian Kirk, Hollywood Brown. Quarterbacks, Dak just got taken.
Yeah, which makes sense.
So I'm going to have to go with my Jordan Love moment here because
Yeah,
I don't want the guy to take him because I don't want to get – I mean, there's lots – like Kyler Murray's good too. Tua's good.
Yeah, it's just in that position with Kyler Murray, his injuries just scare the crap out of me, dude.
Yeah. Okay, let me get into your piece there. I feel like the Eagles could run a lot more now with Henry. Which Henry? The Eagles? You mean the Ravens, don't you, Joey? Okay, so banners. I'm going to go to Peter's team. So at pick 8, you got who?
At pick 8, I got George Pickens. Pick 9, I got Jordan Love.
So I picked Love in round 8.
Okay.
Just because I was going to either go him or Dak there. Actually. And then 10 and 11. Okay.
I think, I think where Joey's concerned with Henry, in Baltimore, they ran a fair bit anyway. But with Henry there, they've got kind of a bull rusher up the middle. So you get it's a really tough offense to defend because you have Lamar Jackson who runs into seams and runs around things. And then you have Henry that clogs up the middles. The linebackers are going to have a nightmare with that team.
Man.
It's going to be very hard. And if we go to the Eagles that are mentioned as well, when you talk about Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts, a very similar situation. Like you can send Barkley in the A-B gap if you have to, and Jalen Hurts will take off and go. Like that makes it very difficult on defenses for sure.
All right. So now,
everybody.
Okay, so here's the thing: Christian Kirk, Hollywood Brown, Jaden Reed. I like all three of those guys.
Yeah, I think for me in this particular case, dude, I really like taking Jaden Reed and Christian Watson a little bit later on if I can, because I don't know. I think Watson's actually the number one guy there, but you don't know. And when he wasn't there, Reed played really, really well.
Yeah. And plus with Jordan Love, it's kind of nice, right?
And it's fun for you. You get your Packer. You'll have Josh Jacobs. Do you pick up Josh Jacobs too?
Oh my goodness, I'm too Packer oriented. Jacobs, Love, and Reed. I mean, I guess if you're gonna have three of them,
Musgrave to the bench. Come on, baby. I got my pick coming up in 2 here.
And your draft's going faster than mine.
I'm at the end of round 10, heading into 11.
We're only halfway through 9.
Wow.
So the guy who did all the running backs, so 3 running backs, then Mark Andrews, then has gone three wide receivers: Amari Cooper, Malik Neighbors, Tank Dell. Then he went Tua, and now he's at Ladd McConkey, which is your boy for the Chargers.
Yeah, like him there.
I'm shocked because I would have taken Jaden Reed or McLaurin over him.
Yep.
But
he's going to be a possession receiver. It's a PPR thing. You know who he reminds me of and stuff. Just watching him in OTAs and stuff like that. One of our favorite buddies there, pal, Wes Welker.
Yes,
that's exactly who he reminds me of. He runs patterns just like Welker did. Honestly, man. And he's going to catch all that underneath stuff and all that.
Yes.
So he's running that out underneath. I bet you he'll catch 80 balls, 85 balls this year. Because that's the way that Harbaugh plays, right? He plays the game off the run, and then he opens up those outs underneath. I just want to take this opportunity again to say that I am thrilled that we have Jim Harbaugh
right
in Boltland. Just want to say that. Just putting that out there.
What's wild isn't great. And so round 9, 2 kickers go, because who knows? People are weird. One of them is Bill's team, so he's drafting from he's on auto draft. Actually, both of them are auto draft. So auto draft, if you don't show up, they'll auto draft, and they also already picked their defenses, which is absolutely stupid. Yep. Someone who's actually here picked a defense, the New York Jets defense, in round 8.
Wow, that's rough.
So then, but here's the one that I think you'll find interesting. Eckler went in round 9, spot 7, and Nick Chubb went 9-8.
That is crazy. I love Chubb later, but that is a massive injury to come back from.
Right. But see, so what we're seeing though, Pete, is when we get in a league, probably this is the spot. Round 9 is when you have to get him.
Chubb?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm about to take him right now in the beginning of round 11.
Perfect.
I have just drafted him. So on my bench, I just took 2 more bench players.
Yeah.
And I mentioned to you how much I really like Christian Watson. So at the last pick of round 10, I took Christian Watson at wide receiver, and the first pick of round 11. You know what? The worst case for me with a round 11 pick like that, like Nick Chubb, is that he starts the league or the year on injured reserve, and I have a roster spot anyway that I'll plug someone in on my bench. But you get Nick Chubb for at least the middle to playoff part of the year. And I think that's a great value. Round 11, dude.
So what do you think? Ridley, Adunez, Rashee Rice, Addison, or Christian Watson?
Did you already take Reed?
Yep.
I don't mind taking Watson there, dude. I know it's way
Ridley.
Ridley is going to be
10 seconds.
It's a toss up for me, man. You're a Packer fan.
One Ridley.
There you go.
I got too many. Well, I'm gonna get around the corner too, so I might get them both.
There we go. So my round 10 pick, Christian Watson. My round 11 pick, Nick Chubb.
That's amazing,
dude. I am really enjoying my roster right now. I just want to say that it was not intended. I kind of with that third pick, with the Williams pick, I kind of pooched it a little bit. Sorry, that must have been my second pick. But actually, my team, as you look at it, as you scroll through it, we have got some fun stuff to play with. I got some toys to play with here.
This is why the only thing I don't like playing in these leagues is they take defenses way too early. It's just not fun.
Hey, it's okay. Defenses, you know my theory on defense, dude.
Here we go. My boy Christian Watson's available. Him, Addison, or Christian Watson.
Well, the only thing I love Addison. I really do as a receiver, but I just don't know about the quarterback situation. That's the only thing. And when you have JJ there, but I like him. Yeah, I think that it's the thing that I think you handcuff it there. I think that Reed or Watson absolutely are the number one guy in Green Bay. So with Jordan Love, I think you're in a good spot.
Well, I like just Love compared to their quarterbacks. It's like
that's
is it Sam Darnold for 4 weeks and then is it JJ McCarthy? Like, what is it going to be?
Yeah, but that's my process with Addison is that if with Justin Jefferson, the other JJ, it's like if they're throwing to somebody, you know that JJ is going to get balls. And so, unless Justin Jefferson gets injured, it's tough to take Addison there. Yeah. But I love him as a receiver. Guy's a really solid receiver. Like, I have nothing bad to say about him.
And Brock Purdy went in round 11. That is great value.
Right?
Okay, so looking at this team here, Jordan Love, CeeDee Lamb, DJ Moore, Josh Jacobs, Rashid White, Laporta, Devontae Smith, T. Higgins, Reed, Ridley, Watson. Oh my goodness, I need running backs, Pete.
Yeah, you do.
I probably got too heavy. I just felt like the running backs weren't great there. So Ridley and Watson were better value. I did not need another wide receiver.
Yeah, but you know what? We were talking earlier before we started the podcast, before the stream. We were talking about doing, the zero running back thing. Not that you're doing that, but you taking more receivers like that, we could actually see how that strategy plays out during the year.
Yeah. So let's see. I have 5 more picks till my turn. I wonder how many of these will be running backs. There's a lot of good wide receivers here late. You've got.
That's why I load up more on running backs earlier.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so it's not like you have Xavier Worthy, Tyler Lockett, Brian Thomas Jr., and then you got JSN. Those guys are solid. Solid. You got Mike Williams for the Jets, your boy.
Yep. So here's my little draft strat that I'm gonna when I don't get into like top 3 defenses. I like to go week to week with my defense, and sometimes it plays over. Mm-hmm. I do think the Saints defense is quite solid, so I probably won't take it until round 14 or 15 in my draft. But the first week, as I look at their schedule, they have the Panthers in New Orleans on the first week. And so it's like, that's a great matchup for me, where like the Ravens, people take the Ravens right away. They have Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Pete, running back situation here. I got Spears, who had a really great season last year. He's available. Yep. Chase Brown, then Charbonnet, Blake Corum. I feel like, or there's Jerome Ford that's there too. He didn't. If you don't have what's his name?
Yep. If you don't have Chubb. Yep.
So I'm thinking going Spears here.
Yep.
Just because, I mean, he had value and he didn't. I mean, he wasn't. I don't know. Was Henry hurt last year? Is that why?
He went for a little bit. He was out for a bit.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get Ford after it.
Yeah.
Because why not? He could be a starting running back for me if the Cleveland Browns don't start Nick Chubb.
Right. So here on mine, I've got 2 bench positions left, Trev.
Yep.
And I'm on the clock. So I did take Kenneth Walker as currently he's in my flex position, so he must have been 6th or 5th on my list. So I'm going to take Charbonnet here.
Yep.
To handcuff him just in case. And then I want to take a quality quarterback here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going with my boy, but I'm telling you that it's really close to going with your boy. So here on top of each other are Herbert and Aaron Rodgers, and actually right below them, Trevor Lawrence.
My goodness.
It's like, okay, so those guys, I am literally taking them in round 13. Justin Herbert, round 13, drafted. I have a kicker and a defense to pick.
Yeah, well, so do I. But I've got the same thing with all the quarterbacks. Cousins, Stafford, Herbert, Rodgers, Lawrence. They're all still there.
Yeah.
So in the round 14, I don't think I'm going to draft a kicker. I'm just going to draft another quarterback to start.
Yeah, well, that's. Oh, I see.
Because I can pick up a kicker later.
Yep.
One of my guys gets injured and I can just drop him. But man, this team feels so stacked to me. I mean, I don't think the running back situation is great for me. Jacobs and White is solid, but then it's Spears and Ford. So I'm really weak there.
Right.
But I am loaded at wide receiver.
Well, I have people at running back for me right now that are going to my wide receivers. I only have the 4 receivers at this point on my roster. But it would be a running back that would be playing my flex position. And I feel like I'm in a position where somebody like a Kenneth Walker or maybe even Aaron Jones later in the season, buddy, could be great trade bait to upgrade at wide receiver for the playoff run.
I wonder if these guys who are auto picking, I could snag one of them off there, right? He's got Breece Hall. What do you think about like Marvin Harrison Jr. going in the second round, pick 7?
Dude, I can't do it. First of all, it's Kyler Murray. And secondly, like don't get me wrong, guy is going to be a good player. And but Kyler Murray is running into injury problems. He can't see over his offensive line. So it's like you have success with him. So DeAndre Hopkins had some success a couple seasons ago. Hollywood Brown had a little bit of success with him, not a ton. But the process is I just don't see him being that kind of receiver where you're taking him, like he's consensusly over guys like Mike Evans, over guys like
Devontae Adams, Ayuk,
Cooper
Kupp, London,
like
Jalen Waddle, Deebo Samuel.
Yeah,
he's
so
over.
I actually kind of like that he's drafted there, and because the people in fantasy, they get all worked up about the draft and they get all worked up about what everybody's saying on fantasy shows and stuff, and they actually use that pick to take him, and I would never take him under 20. There is not a chance I would take him under 20. Right. So they do me a favor by wasting one of my picks or wasting one of the picks, and I get down to the guys that I actually want. Yeah, I don't think anything of that at all. That's a waste to me. Very good player. I think he's going to be really good, but that's way too early. Watch, he'll finish the number 2 wide receiver in the league, and I'll eat my words at the end of the season.
Right. Which is fine.
I just don't see. Yeah, I'm happy to be wrong about something like that. Don't get me wrong. It's just Kyler doesn't impress me. Kyler's not a 4,000-yard guy. He's a rusher. He's 5'9" all day long. I don't care what they tell you. He didn't measure at 5'10" and a half.
What did you get at 12?
At 12, I got Charbonnet. And at 13, I got Justin Herbert.
Okay, so I'm going to go, if Aaron Rodgers is still here, I'm going Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins. Wow, that's a tough one. I'm going Rodgers. And so I'm not going kicker. And then that means I got to go defense, which there's slim pickings now. So Philadelphia, Buffalo, Chicago, New Orleans, Houston, Minnesota, like.
Okay, so buddy, Minnesota has the Giants week 1.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Giants. Detroit. Who does Detroit have week 1?
Detroit, I'm on the schedule right now. Lions have the Rams.
Ouch.
Dolphins, Bills, not great. Who's Philly got?
They got Green Bay.
Oy. Chicago's got the Titans.
Oh boy, that might be good.
That might be good.
What about the Raiders versus the Chargers? That'd be a wild game to go.
Dude, that's going to be a game that'll be an entertaining game. That is not going to be a low scoring game. Neither defense is going to be okay on that one. They're both giving up 30.
Steelers. I wonder if there's a Steelers is available. Oh, the Falcons. Shoot. All right.
I think I'm heading into Miami in this one.
Steelers. Buffalo. What about Buffalo?
Buffalo's got the Dolphins week 1. Excuse me. No, I lied. That was that was the first game of week 2. Buffalo. Where are they? Sorry, man.
I don't see them.
I may have screwed that up.
Buffalo's the Cardinals.
Yes, I screwed that up. That's on me. I'm going week 1. Oh, okay.
I'm just going to go Buffalo, maybe. Yeah, I'm just going to go Buffalo. Why not?
Packers, Eagles, Saints, Panthers, Vikings.
So interesting that you and I both got Jordan Love.
Yeah, it is. I think that the value for him where you get him, I think is unbelievable.
Well, he was quarterback 5 last year.
Yeah.
But granted, there was guys who were injured, so I don't know if he'll stay at 5, but I think he's going to hover around that area.
This could very well be true. Oh, no. Somebody took my guy. Somebody took Dicker. Somebody took Dicker the kicker, man.
That's weird.
I'm going to take it McPherson. So my 14th pick, my friend, I took Minnesota as my defense.
Yep.
And Minnesota gets the Giants in week 1. And then as my last pick, I took Evan McPherson, the kicker in Cincinnati. Only because my guy, I take him in almost every draft.
Yeah, no one's going to take him in most drafts, right?
No, Dicker from the Chargers.
Yeah, someone's going to drop him.
He didn't miss in OTAs, and he kicked 94% last year.
Wow. Okay, so our drafts are done. And I'm really happy with that. I need to shut this down because my other team's going to start in a few minutes.
Dude, you got it. Thank you, man.
Thanks so much, Peter, for being here.
It's a blast. I like my team. I like your team.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'll just quickly show it to you here. It is there. So Jordan Love, CeeDee Lamb, DJ Moore, Josh Jacobs, Rashid White, Laporta, Devontae Smith, T. Higgins, Jaden Reed, Ridley, Watson, Spears, Ford, and Aaron Rodgers with Buffalo defense. I don't know. I like that team a lot.
It could be fun.
I might need to package up some of these wide receivers and get a running back, but other than that, I'm good.
Yeah, I may have to package up a running back to get wide receiver, so we'll see what happens.
Awesome.
Thanks, man.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching, and hope you have a great night. Glad to have you here. Of course, always hit the like and subscribe, and we'll talk with you soon.
Have a good one, guys.